Hey folks, thanks again for watching Pro Libertate, where I talk about politics, philosophy, religion, theology, whatever comes to mind. Art, farming, eventually going to get to that stuff too. Today I wanted to talk about this video with Trump, and this came up the other day, and Trump was giving his speech, and as he's talking, this hack reporter from MSNBC just cuts off the speech and says, "We have to interrupt because he's just not telling the truth. We're going to tell you. Let me define the facts for you." So it was that sort of a thing. And before I play that, I just kind of wanted to comment on really what's been going on. And this is something that Trump has brought about. Since Trump won in 2016, the media has been scrambling to regain control of the narrative because obviously they lost it. In 2016, YouTube was very free. You could put anything on here. It was the Wild West. And that all changed with Trump. When Trump won, all of a sudden YouTube started demonetizing videos, and certain channels are no longer getting the views that they used to. One of the channels I listen to is Stefan Molyneux, and he was complaining just yesterday about how his viewership is down about 80% from what it used to be. And because he's no longer on the recommended section, right? So he's being suppressed. So there's certain ideas and there's certain channels that are obviously being suppressed. And that's no surprise. The gatekeepers are all leftists, right? So this is no surprise. This is what's to be expected. But they didn't really clamp down until Trump won. And a major reason why Trump won, I would contend, it's not because of Russia, it's not because of Russian memes or anything like that. It's because of the free media on the internet. It's because of YouTube. It's because of memes from regular people making fun of Hillary Clinton. There was all sorts of channels that had the God Emperor Trump and stuff like that. It was just playful stuff that really bolstered Trump when all the coverage in the mainstream media was entirely negative, right? Even Fox News wasn't like enthusiastic for Trump. And you can see that now as Fox News is really kind of trying to distance themselves from Trump. Fox News is awful, really. People see them as the conservative news outlet. They are anything but that. Maybe they are, but somewhat conservative. They have some decent guys on there like Tucker. But regardless, so since Trump won, they've been trying to put a cap on all of this. And things have really changed. On Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, channels have been banned, memes have been banned. And one of the things that they've been doing is, ramping up this whole fact-checking nonsense. And what fact-checking, really boils down to is a defense of the narrative. It's a circling of the wagons. There's a group, we're going to tell you what the truth is, and anything outside of this is unorthodox, right? It's a defense of the orthodoxy from the heretics, right? And Trump's a heretic. And just on my own video, I'm going to show you this real quick before I play Trump. This was a video I put up, a week or so ago. And September 23rd. And it's on climate change. It's entitled The Climate Change Hoax. And you'll see under my video, the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers are there. They're going to tell you about global warming. Remember when Wikipedia was actually good? It's just garbage now. It's totally bowed the knee to the leftist god. But so there's a disclaimer on my video, basically telling you this is the official perspective on global warming, right? And I've seen that a number of times on articles that have been shared over Facebook, and there'll be a disclaimer there saying this is dubious. It's like, oh my goodness. So it's this paternalistic state, these paternalistic busybodies that assume that you're too dumb to figure out what's fact and fiction, be able to discern the facts from fluff, right? So they're gonna do that for you. They're gonna make sure that the official narrative is always out there, right? So I'm talking about global warming and how it's just this fraud. And so there they are to make sure that the official story is out there for everyone to consume, despite what may be in my video. And they do this in real-time action with the president. Right here on MSNBC. They do it in real-time action. It's just absurd. And I say that a lot, but it is. And this is them attempting to regain control of the narrative. Trump is shifting the narrative. So this whole Ukrainian thing, I'm not going to get bogged down in the details. But when you analyze what was going on, the reality is it points to Joe Biden and his son, Hunter, and their sweetheart deals, and really the extortion that Joe Biden enforced upon the Ukrainian government back during the Obama years. I think this was 2014. Basically, he said, look, there's this foreign aid we're going to give you, but I'm not going to give it to you unless you back off this investigation of my son and his company over there in the Ukraine. And so the Ukrainians fired their equivalent to the attorney general who was investigating this company. And so that was the end of that. Now Trump's bringing it up again. And that's part of the phone call that's brought about all this impeachment talk and nonsense. Trump was talking with the Ukrainian president or premier or whatever he is, and basically saying, hey, whatever happened to that investigation? Now, Trump didn't ever say, look, we got this money we want to give you, but I won't give it to you unless you dig up this dirt on Joe Biden. None of that ever happened. And that's this nonsense that MSNBC has said, but that never happened. He never said anything like that. He merely asked, for them to do the job of finishing this investigation that was brought to a halt by Joe Biden's extortionary behavior. So that's what happened there, and they're running with it. They've run with so many false narratives. It's amazing that they have the gall to call themselves fact checkers. I mean, they run with false narrative after false narrative. The Russian hoax, remember Trump had hookers. He paid hookers to pee on a bed that the Obama slept in over in Russia. That's what started the whole Russia hoax. It was all fake. It was just all these, the dossier, all this stuff. It's just been one fake thing after another. And this is the thing, I'm not going to deny it. I do like President Trump in that he is a disruptor. I don't agree with, everything he does. As I'm like I've said several times, I'm a thoroughgoing libertarian, but I actually see him as a good in the White House, much better than Hillary Clinton would have been. So I'm not one of those libertarians that constantly gripes and is useless. I saw some meme today griping about how Trump hasn't done anything about the Patriot Act and the FISA warrants and eminent domain, and I'm like, dude, you're missing the big picture. He's fighting the deep state right now. Like, my goodness, he can't do everything. But I'm not trying to be a homer and make excuses for him, but there's a lot of libertarians that I honestly feel are rather short-sighted and are impractical. Have this, wispy philosophy that can never touch Earth. It's out here. I am trying to stay away from that. But anyway, back to the fact-checking nonsense. They do that here in real time, and it's so ridiculous. And let me just play it, and I'll stop it. It's really quick, 1-2 punch. It's not a very long clip I'm going to play. It's 11 minutes, but I ain't going to play all that. I don't want to hear these people. Here he goes.
One other thing, I'm just going off certain notes and elements of what we've been doing over the last 3 days, but this just came up a few minutes ago.
We hate to
Amazon,
do this,
Washington
really,
Post
but the president
just
isn't
put out
telling
a
the truth. These
fake article
allegations
that
against
actually
Joe Biden and Hunter Biden that he's repeating have been investigated by the Ukrainians, none other than the Wall Street Journal included in their report on Friday that the Ukrainians view this issue as having been investigated and adjudicated. And what's amazing is that what Trump appears to be trying to do is to turn his own impeachment into a big deflection.
Yeah, he's trying to change the story. I think we should say.
So, all right, I'll just stop it there. The story really is about Joe Biden, though. That's the thing. Trump hasn't really done anything. But, you know, the Democrats, ever since he won, they've been accusing of one crime after another. We're just trying to figure out, we know Trump's guilty. We're just trying to figure out what he's guilty of. That's basically what we've gone through for the last 3 years. We know that he's guilty. We're just working on figuring out what exactly he's guilty of. And that's gone on for 3 years. I've never seen anything like this for a president. And I've never seen anything like this, where you got these whores in the media that literally cut off the president of the United States and say he's lying and we're going to tell you what the truth is. I've never seen anything like this. And honestly, every time I see stuff of this variety throughout Trump's presidency, it makes me want to support him. Because if these frauds and hacks in the media are this committed to opposing him, he must be doing something right. If these liars are so scared about losing control of the narrative, he must be doing something right. He must be doing something that the establishment doesn't want. If the establishment fights him this hard. I mean, every single news network except for Fox News, occasionally, I hasten to qualify, every single news network is thoroughly anti-Trump. Every single one of them. You turn on CBS, you turn on NBC, you turn on ABC, even you know the nightly news, it's all anti-Trump. You turn on CNN, MSNBC, all those channels, they're anti-Trump, and it's and they're the gatekeepers, and they're losing control of the narrative. And so this is them trying to assert control of the narrative. They're literally going to interrupt a speech and fact check him in real time. Now this is MSNBC. They shared it like this is a good thing, like their fans are going to like it. They probably will, actually. They probably do. And it does have a pretty high like to dislike ratio. But so it's happening in real time now, and they're doing it to the president. My main point in this video, if they're going to do it to him, and they're going to cut off the president, correct him, and shut down his speech, they're going to do it to you. They're going to cut off your speech, they're going to shut you down, and they're going to take away your voice. And you'll have to face the fact checkers. And so this is how they've circumvented. The media has circumvented, all the First Amendment. All of their complaints about Trump having a war on the First Amendment and the media, they're actually the ones that are against the media. They're actually the ones who are opposing free speech. They're shutting it down. All sorts of channels have been removed from YouTube. I mean, Alex Jones is gone. All these conservative channels that, really helped Trump win in 2016, gone. They're all gone. There was a great scrubbing. And the same has been true on Facebook. Like one of my favorite meme pages that I would follow was Liberty Memes. They've been harassed over and over and over ever since Trump won, because they're a libertarian meme page, and they take shots at everybody. They take shots at Trump, they take shots at Hillary Clinton, they take shots at the Republicans, they take shots at the Democrats. But the gatekeepers will not allow themselves to be mocked. That's one of the things. The devil can't abide being mocked. Right? He has no sense of humor as far as, self-degrading humor. So my main point here is that these are the bad guys. These are the controllers. That's the ministry of truth, of the establishment. And they're shutting off the voice of the U.S. president. That's why they hate the fact that he tweets so much. It's not because he's uncouth. It's not because he says stupid things, both of which are true. That's not why they have a problem with his tweeting. They have a problem with his tweeting because he bypasses them as gatekeepers. They cannot abide it, and so they howl and they complain about it. Because every time Trump tweets, it's an end around the media. In the past, whenever the president wanted to say something to the American people, what did he do? He had to call a press conference. And ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox and all these people with the official badges would show up with microphones in their hand and get to play reporter. Now, Trump gets to just say what he wants and walk away. And they want to take that away from him, and ultimately, they want to take it away from you. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and take care.